Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney Morgan. If you are new here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You subscribe so you know when I come out with new videos. On to today's case. Today I have a story for you guys about a woman named Candy. Candy lived in a small town up in Canada. One night, Candy and her boyfriend got into this huge fight. It was a big mess. So she decided to leave her boyfriend's house and she wanted to go see her friend. Her friend actually worked at a medical center, but her friend wasn't working that night. But a nurse who was working said because she was so hysterical and upset that she should see her doctor, John Schneeburger. So she goes in and she starts to talk to her doctor. She's still hysterical. This fight with her boyfriend's bothering her so much she can't calm down. So she thinks that when she's going to talk to her doctor, that he was just going to give her some pills, medication or something to calm her down, make it so she can sleep through the night and feel better in the morning. But that's not what happened. See, this doctor, he decided that he was going to give her some injection of a medicine that he claimed would do the same thing. It would calm her down and help her sleep through the night. But this drug that he injected her with was called midazolam. He says that it was going to calm her down, it was going to induce sleepiness. But as soon as he injected this into Candy, she says that she completely went limp. She said her whole body felt like jello and her head got so foggy and she had no clue what was going on. But this drug is actually known to a lot of people as kind of like a date rape drug. It makes you lose your memory, it makes you sleepy, drowsy. So it's a wonder why her doctor decided to give her this. And when Candy started to come to in the doctor's office from having this drug injected into her, she woke up and she was feeling really weird, really foggy, super drowsy still, and she says that she felt like she was sexually assaulted. So before she left the medical center that day, she decided that she was going to have a rape kit done. And that rape kit indeed showed that she was sexually assaulted and that she had been drugged. So Candy starts making a huge deal about this because she's confused as of what happened, what this doctor did to her. But nobody in the town believed her. Everybody knew John Schneeburger. They thought that he was just the most awesome dude, that he would never do anything like this. And unfortunately, Candy thought the same thing. She trusted this man. So the whole town completely went against her. So Candy went to the police and she told them exactly what had happened and what she thought had happened. She told them, I had a rape kit done. I was assaulted and I was drugged. And Dr. John Schneeburger was the only one there. He had to have done this. So the police couldn't just let this go. They had to do something. So the police went to the doctor and they said, hey, we kind of need a DNA test because we need to see if Candy's telling the truth, if you really did assault her. So the doctor said that is no problem. I will take this DNA test. I will show you guys I didn't assault this girl and all will go back to normal. And when the DNA test came back, it showed that his DNA type did not match the one that was found in Candy's rape kit. The whole town didn't believe her before. Now, after the DNA test, they really didn't believe her. They said, there's no way. DNA proves it. He did not hurt you. Quit saying it. And she was getting so frustrated. She's like, I know something happened in there. He was the only guy in there with me. It had to have been him. So the police went back to Dr. Schneeburger, and I really need to stop saying his name. I'm probably not even saying it right. So the police went back to the doctor, and they said, hey, would you mind just giving your DNA one more time to make her feel better and let this all go away? The police were convinced that because she was so out of it that day and that she did get injected with some drugs that were supposed to calm her down, that she just imagined it. And that's exactly what the doctor was telling the police. The doctor, he was telling police that when this drug is administered into the bloodstream that it can cause sexual hallucinations. So he decided, you know what? Yeah, I'll do the test one more time. And this time, the police actually witnessed him giving his blood from his arm so that it can be done and over with. But the doctor that was extracting the blood from John's arm said that when it was really hard to hit the vein, he said that his vein was like really enlarged, and once they finally got into the vein and extracted the blood seemed old. She was really confused. This was actually videotaped. She said, "This is weird. The blood seems like it's not fresh." So she was really confused, but the blood didn't match. So he was off the hook again. And everybody kind of let this go. Years and years and years had gone by, but Candy wasn't letting it go. She knew that something was wrong, and she was determined to get his ass. So she decided to hire a private investigator. This private investigator broke into Schneeburger's car, and he was able to find a few hair samples. So he took those, but he realized that they couldn't be tested because the root was not attached to the hair strand. But while he was in the car, he actually saw a tube of chapstick. So he decided to take that tube of chapstick as well. And the PI took the tube of chapstick and had it DNA tested, and it matched the DNA that was found in the rape kit that Candy had submitted that night. But that didn't clear anything up for Candy or the police. They're like, wait, how does his blood not match his semen, but his semen matches the DNA on the chapstick tube? So Candy decided that she was going to sue him. So while they were going through all the court shit from Candy suing him, the judge ordered a warrant to do another DNA test. The lab technician was going to take it from his finger, but he came up with some bullshit excuse that his fingers they don't work for blood tests, and here, please take it from my arm. So she did, and again, the DNA was not a match to Candy's rape kit. By this time, everybody's pretty much giving up on Candy and her story, and they really, really, really don't believe her. And another few years went by when all of a sudden, Dr. Schneeburger's stepdaughter made some really harsh accusations against him. She said that when she would go to bed at night, her stepfather would come into the bedroom, he would inject her with something, and he would sexually assault her. He was immediately arrested. And when he was being arrested, they took hair samples, saliva samples, and an actual blood sample. And his DNA finally matched all of the crimes that he was being accused of. So now everybody's wondering, okay, John took 3 DNA tests for Candy's case. How in the hell did he get away with it for so long? The DNA didn't match. While they were in court, they called him out on this, and he finally admitted to how he was doing this. This man took a tube that was the size of a vein, width of a vein, and he put it in his arm with a port at the top. He would inject his patient's blood into the top of the port so that when they extracted the blood samples in the past, it wasn't his blood. He was using somebody else's blood and somebody else's DNA. But can I just ask, so if they took 3 different tests for Candy's case and the first blood sample didn't match, the second blood sample didn't match, the third one didn't match, wouldn't they have all 3 of those on file? Like, it didn't match that, but how did they not, did he use the same person's blood every single time? I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe they didn't catch it if all 3 blood samples were different. But anyways, so he was finally found guilty for all his dirty crimes. But unfortunately, he was only sentenced to like 6 years in prison. And once he was out of prison, he was actually stripped of his medical license and he was shipped back to the country that he was originally born in. He wasn't from Canada, he moved there. I know this wasn't a super long case, but it baffled me that a doctor would insert the tube in his arm, do a lot of sketchy things like sexually assaulting his unconscious patients and stepdaughter and get away with it for so many years because he was using somebody else's blood. That's crazy. It blows my mind. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me and listening to this short story that I had to tell you. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. In the comments below, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe and come back later and chit chat with me. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you later.